I think we're going live here. We are live wherever we can be live. You might be listening in, and hopefully you can join us sometime. So let me just every day. Wait till we get our get this roll.
Hi, Alex. Yeah, there we go.
We're live here today because what I'm doing is every day I am trying to get people to follow this book, Mistaken Identity. I wanted to put together a system for people so they could get out of their own way and they could do better in life and not get hung up on mistaken beliefs, mistaken attitude towards themselves, mistaken about what it takes to succeed and get ahead in life. Life is actually quite simple. We make it way too complicated. And so every day I put out a little email with a video, and you can either watch it, you can listen to it, or you can read it. But every day I'm bringing to you live daily tips from my book, Mistaken Identity, to try and clear up the confusion people have. It's very confusing out there. It's very noisy out there, and just trying to help people get really concise, simple, clear steps that you can follow to get rid of what's getting in your way, get rid of any negative thoughts or feelings you have towards yourself or your capability, and be able to see a clear path to get ahead to where you want to go, whatever direction it is, so you can live a better life. And so each day I put these tips out, and if you're getting my emails, then you'll see those, and you could forward those to a friend and get them to join them. And then what I want to do is basically be here every day. I'm inside my mentoring center platform. I created an environment where you can come in and you can meet me live, and I will help you. And so what I wanted to do is put together these daily tips. And today we're going to cover the tip that was in the email. It was about this notion of judgment and the monkey on your back. And so we basically, we're going to play that short tip again if you haven't seen it. And then I just want to talk to a little bit. And then I also give you an opportunity if you want to come in and meet me and ask me for help, so you can help get ahead. And so these are live little free little classes that you can get in. And so I know that if you read this book, it will help you get rid of your mistaken identity. It says, stop hiding and start living, a guide to letting go of past that's holding you back. And I take you through a process over 30 steps, 30 days, 30 chapters to help you break free of any mistaken beliefs or a mistaken attitude you have towards yourself that's holding you back. And I'm the only author I know that is on here every day live, trying to help you improve your life. And this book will help you do it. This is a roadmap. And if you get the book and you read the book and you take the action steps in the book and you come on here and ask me for help or listen in, or you watch those daily tips, I know your life is going to get better so you can enjoy your life more. So let's play the little clip from today's tip. And then I want to talk to you about a little bit, and we'll wrap it up. 1 second. All right, let me just expand this and let's play this, then we'll talk about it. My name is Doug Dane, and I wanted to create a place online where you can get real advice that works for succeeding and living your best life. So here's a daily tip from my book, Mistaken Identity, help you let go of your fears so you can stop hiding and start living. This can happen fast, it's not complicated, and it doesn't have to be hard. We definitely make it hard, but it doesn't have to be hard.
I have a business in South Carolina, and I tried to be supportive with my friends, and I did all 10 years. And all those 10 years, I felt like, that is my responsibility, that I'm her friend, I need to support her. Right. And now I'm getting out, and when she wanted to be out, like everything, she was blaming me, like, oh, you didn't do this, or you didn't do this, or you didn't do this. Or,
okay. All right. So you got two people in your salons blaming you.
Yeah.
Okay. If I knew the whole story, both sides of the story, like if I was, let's say I was a consultant working with your business, and I visited the South Carolina salons and even the ones in Michigan. I went there, and then I came back and I spent some time in San Diego with you and at the salon as a third party, as an observer. Are those two people right or wrong? Is it your fault?
50%, I would say right,
50%?
and 50% wrong. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's nice of you to say that. So there is always two sides of every story, and in this situation, generally, two people, sometimes more. What we have to get straight is the other 50%. So their 50%. Okay. They have a perception, and they probably have a perception problem. Okay. In fact, one of our big problems in the world is that everybody has these perception problems, and they will die on those perception problems. Like literally, they'll fight to the death over some perception that they've even carried around for centuries. Our perception runs our judgment. Like in my book, the last chapter, bottom line, all you gotta remember is perception and judgment. So those two people, you have to understand, we don't have to, but it'd be a good idea to be empathetic that, they have a perception problem, okay? And their perception runs their judgment. They make judgment calls, and they say and do things in reaction to situations and circumstances and towards you. And they're probably not on track. It's good that you said 50%. I would say it's probably less than that. I bet it's probably 80-20, 70-30. I would say it's probably more weighted on their shoulders, but they're trying to dump it onto your shoulders. So you're the owner, right? And so one of your employees has a problem. And the problem is the monkey. They're holding a monkey. They got a monkey on their shoulders, right? They got a problem. And they come to you and they go, I got a problem. And what the 1 minute manager used to do until when he wasn't a 1 minute manager is he would take on the monkey. So the employee would come in and go, we have a problem. And then the employee would drop the monkey into the manager's hands, and the manager goes, leave it with me. Leave the problem with me. What he was really saying is leave the monkey with me. I'll take care of the monkey. Now the monkey's on my back, right? And so we got to put the monkey back in the right hands of where it belongs. And so if you're managing employees or people, you got to put the monkey on their shoulders and let them solve their own problems. You guide them and coach them and direct them, help them solve their own problems. Like my daughter often likes to put the monkey on my back, and I throw the monkey back at her. And then she tries to give it to me. And I feel sorry for the monkey because for a little while, the monkey's being thrown back and forth, But finally, I get rid of the monkey and the monkey goes on her shoulders and she has to solve the problem. All right. Okay. Yesterday, this friend finally puts the monkey on mom's back. I said, that's where the monkey belongs. You have to place the blame, not you blame people. Like, I don't get angry that I'm holding your monkey, but I just give you the monkey back. But I don't get angry with you that you gave me the monkey, but I place the monkey where it belongs. In this case, it was mom's hands where the monkey belongs. I said, don't ever take the friggin' monkey back. That's why you feel lighter, right? And so we tend to let people dump their monkey on our shoulders, right? And if they're angry or they're frustrated or they're critical or they're judgmental, well, that's a clue. We have to be empathetic. That's a clue that something's going on inside for them. I used to drill that in my daughter's head when she was little. I said, Eden, I said, if anybody treats you poorly, it's not about you. There's something going on for them. Maybe it's really hard at home. Maybe they're mom treated them poorly that day or spanked them, or, maybe they, failed and they were whatever. You don't know what's going on at home or for that person, right? And so you have to remember that. Okay. And so you're empathetic and you can be sympathetic, you just don't own the monkey.
Owning the monkey.
Owning the monkey. Hey, Hussein, how are you? Rafael, listen in the background. So, folks, we want to do these each day. We have these daily emails going out with these daily tips and trying to give tips from my book, from coaching with people. That was a call that we did last week on our Inner Circle coaching group for our paid members. And that was an interesting conversation because in the case, the person that was on there, Avipsha, she's got, employees that were kind of, basically giving her a hard time and blaming her and putting all the responsibility on her shoulders. And she almost took all the responsibility. We had this little conversation. And so what's very common is people like to put the monkey on our back. They do it through blame. Their perception would be that, we've dropped the ball, or it's our responsibility, or we made a mistake. It's all run through our judgment or perception, which I mentioned on that call and in the replay here. And in the book, the last chapter, the bottom line, the two things we really got to pay attention to is judgment and perception. So you have a perception of everything, of people, of your life, of your career, of your business, of your family, your friends, your culture, religion, everything. You have a perception. And that perception makes judgment calls. You form judgments. You make decisions. It causes you to have a response or a reaction or a viewpoint. And we got to get straight with our mistaken identity. It's very easy with our own mistaken identity, if we're not feeling confident, if we're not clear about who we are or where we're going, if we've second guessed ourselves a lot, growing up or in our careers. So when somebody dumps, a judgment on you from their perception, it's very easy for you to take the monkey on. And it can become very, very heavy. In fact, if you're in the habit of taking on the monkey from one person, you're probably in the habit of taking on from many people. You got a lot of people dumping their monkeys on your back. And then what do? You judge yourself. Whatever you say, it is my fault, or I should know better, or I should take responsibility, or I should, I should do this differently, or I should ask for somebody for their opinion or advice. Then another chapter in my book, Stop Shoulding on Yourself, is we should on ourselves because of somebody else putting the monkey on our back. And so the problem is that we just, allow these things to be dumped on us, and we do a lot of dumping on ourselves. And, it causes you to second guess yourself, and you feel frustrated, or, you're worried about, what's the next move that I should make. You're not quite really clear on, or confident on how to go ahead. When the monkey gets dumped on your back, it's very easy to second guess yourself. And so what do you do about that? Well, I think, obviously the first step is we got to continue to start to really get clear on the things that we're mistaken about, and become clear and confident with who we are, what we're doing, get our own perceptions clear, where we feel solid. You feel solid. Like if somebody, comes to me and tries to put the monkey on my back, sometimes I take on the monkey because maybe I'm not solid in that particular area. And so what you try to do is just be aware, go, oh, you know what? I have to shore this area up a little. I need to do a little bit of work over here. But it doesn't mean I have to do all this work everywhere, just in this particular situation. And so we want to be aware, we want to pay attention, and we want to learn from each of these interactions. And again, not take on too much pressure or too much judgment that we have to all of a sudden, throw out the baby with the bathwater, as they say. I gotta start all over. Oh my God, I gotta go. I got so much work to do, and this is going to be so difficult. No, you just learn from each interaction. But just remember that when people are, have a judgment, and they want to put that judgment onto your shoulders, the monkey on your back, whether it's a problem to solve. Maybe it's their reaction to something that they think it's your problem, that like you actually caused their reaction. I got a message this morning from somebody, and they were trying to put the monkey on my back as if it was my responsibility. I know it's not my responsibility. And so you just practice refusing that, or kindly and gently just say, no, actually, this is your monkey, and put it on their back. And what that does is two things. One is you're helping the other person. There's a great quote that when you do things for other people that they're able to do on their own, you actually weaken them. And so you're actually helping people put the monkey back on their back. And you might have to finesse it a bit. You might have to negotiate a bit. You might have to, you have to do it kindly and gently, but, get them to take the monkey on. You're enabling them to stand up on their own, and you're strengthening them. Otherwise, if you take the monkey off their back and you take it on what is supposed to be theirs, then you're actually weakening them. And what it also does for you is it strengthens your own confidence. And sometimes, you got to just do that. You might be wrong. It might actually be something that you need to take responsibility for. And you might be wrong by trying to place it on their back. But I think 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be right. And that's the idea. So just do not let people's judgment or their perception hijack your confidence, hijack your mistaken identity, or stir up this mistaken identity where you feel like you're mistaken. And you're mistaken about you're mistaken about what you believe, you're mistaken about what you know to be true. It's very easy for us to undermine ourselves and erode our own self-confidence because we just take the monkey on. So just be aware and pay attention. And if you got to watch that little video over a couple more times to kind of drill that in, do that. So each day we're just doing these tips where you can come on and learn a little bit. And obviously, if you're here live like you are, you can ask me a couple of questions while I'm here. And otherwise, we'll wrap it up. Rafal, Hossein, do you have anything you want to talk about with this video today? Just unmute yourself. And you got it? You can't unmute?
No, I can
There you
unmute.
go.
Hello there, guys. I just want to post something on the background so my voice become more clear. The problem that I am confronting now is accepting that I have to pay the price for my goals, and it's just like this. If I'm not aware, and most of when I wake up or get too tired, most of the time I become those frenzy crazy thing and do everything that I hate to do, and it's just I am aware that I am doing things wrong, and the things that I do are not the things that I want to do, but I do it anyway. And I didn't accept the prices that I have to pay for the person I want to become, for the vision I had. And it's just like going back and forth between the person I want to become and the thing that I have from my past, and the blames and judgments. But every time I become aware of it, I just remind myself that these things are not the things that I want. This judgment is wrong. There's nothing wrong with me. I just repeat those things, ideas you shared with us in the book. And just I have this kind. It's like I am thinking that I'm not going to make it to become the person I want to become.
All right. Okay, I was going to say, you're kind of using a lot of self-help language there in the beginning, trying to get clarity on what it is you're actually saying the problem is that you're trying to solve. So I think what you're saying is that, you're trying to progress and move forward, but you're still judging yourself and giving yourself a hard time as you're doing that. And then you're really not having a whole lot of faith or belief you're going to get there in the long run.
Yes. That's my problem. The thing is, I just go back to my old habits and I hate them. They just destroys my self-image and makes me feel like I don't want the things that I want. I don't believe in myself and those.
Yeah.
And it's just a habit. I just do it randomly. If I have no program or no planning for the day, I just go to the old programming and do anything.
Yeah.
Like old days.
All right. Well, if we kind of bridge what you're saying to today's lesson about the monkey on your back. So it's kind of like you pick up all these monkeys around throughout the day and put them on your back. Listen, we are very habitual. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And all of us have negative habits and we have positive habits. So not your whole day isn't filled with negative habits, so saying, otherwise you wouldn't be with us right now. All right. You have positive habits too. You look like you're well groomed. You're probably well dressed. You look like you present yourself well. So you're obviously doing things to take care of yourself, all right. So there is positive habit. But we do tend to default to negative habits for a couple of reasons. One is, if we're not, if things aren't progressing the way we want, if we're not getting results, we tend to be hard on ourselves. And then what we do is we turn to negative habits as a coping mechanism. Whether we eat too much, drink too much, stop exercising, we may actually stop positive habits because we're giving ourselves such a hard time. Go, what's the use? It's hopeless. Whatever you say to yourself, like I used to call myself, you piece of crap, what the hell? And that's what we do to ourselves. And so we just have to recognize that you can't turn us around instantly, right? It takes time. Like all of the positive habits you do have, you didn't form them overnight. Now, some habits are fairly easy. Like one habit I'm working on right now is I need to drink more water. Okay. Just to be healthier. And water has so many benefits. And so, I've had to set up reminders on my phone, literally every hour, to fill up the glass of water and take a drink, but I'm not, when I miss that alarm, in fact, I was out all morning, I missed 3 of them. Right. But I'm not giving myself a hard time because I recognize that forming habits takes time. Okay. But our mistaken identity, this negative viewpoint we have of ourselves, we can't keep fueling that. Okay. We have to stop it. One of the chapters of the book, stop it. We got to just keep going, nope, I'm not going to do that. Even if you did do it and you don't do it with judgment. I'm saying you don't give yourself a command and tell yourself to do something differently and then judge yourself that you're not going to do the very thing that you want to do. It does take time. And so it's like a muscle. Like if you went to the gym, you're not going to walk out of the gym the next day with big bulging muscles, and the fat their body fat's not going to fall away instantly. And so we have no problem. Well, I guess that's not true. Some of us do have a problem. We go to the gym and we do want instant results and we stop going to the gym because we're not seeing results fast enough. And so you have to have a bit of faith, and you have to have patience, and you have to have persistence, and you have to let this happen. But rest assured, if you're working away this little bit, whether you see it or not, the seeds are growing beneath the surface, and then you're going to see a result. And so just just keep practicing not giving yourself a hard time. Because the last piece before we wrap up here is that when you're turning to these behaviors, as you said, I don't really have a plan, I don't really have my day laid out or whatever, and I just default to these old habits. And then you give yourself a hard time that you're defaulting to the old habits when you know you shouldn't be, but you're doing them anyway, right? Then naturally, you're not going to have the faith or belief that things are going to change. So you erode your belief in the future because of what you're doing today. And so you just have to correct yourself. Go, nope, tomorrow will be a better day. And you just keep correcting yourself with grace and be nice to yourself, And when you fall back to the old habit, it's okay. Tomorrow's going to be a different day. And if tomorrow is any different, it's okay. Tomorrow's going to be a different day. And that's not procrastinating. That's not putting it off. That is giving yourself a command and attempting to follow it, which builds up your discipline over time, right? And I'll guarantee you in about a month from now, if you ask me about my water intake, I'll guarantee you it'll be pretty solid. And I know it's going to have some health benefits for me. I know it will, right? My job is just one day at a time, try to do my best each day to form those habits or get away from the negative habits. And the best way to get away from a negative habit is try to form some simple little positive habits. Because this little water drinking habit, the same, just forming this habit is going to strengthen me in all kinds of other areas. Because the key to breaking old habits is disrupting your paradigm with a new positive habit. It could be just really simple as drinking water every day. Somebody could be, they could be, watching porn all day long. Terrible habit. Or they could be just eating the wrong foods, just stuffing their face with food. And one little positive habit could be the disruptor. Because a little positive habit builds up confidence in you and your true self. Your authentic self, because you're treating yourself well. Yourself, you're doing something good for yourself, and yourself becomes more confident that you can take on and get rid of the things that are eroding the very thing that takes your confidence away. Make sense? So what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
What can you do?
I was just writing down the things that I can do for it. Maybe just going for a walk.
Going for a walk. Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm following Arnold Schwarzenegger. You should follow him if you want to get he really simplifies and breaks down health and wellness and exercise and fitness nutrition. He just makes it so simple. And he said, just start with a little walk each day. Just get in the habit of walking each day. Get in the habit of drinking more water each day. Get in the habit of maybe, just doing one stretch every day, just one thing, and just build up a habit and then add another one. But we want to take on all these habits and all these fixes and all these repairs in one fell swoop. We want to jump from here to here in one fell swoop. And that's not the way that it works. It's incremental steps. You build your foundation one block at a time, one brick at a time, until you build a solid foundation and you build yourself a skyscraper and you really start to grow and you really start to take off. Okay?
Yeah.
Jason, you got your hand up?
I have a question.
Yeah.
But I just want to make, this is like a separate idea though, that relates to the video. I just have a question. Is there any potential drawbacks to not taking on the burdens of others, like taking on the monkey, like, staying a victim, maybe like, oh, that's not my problem, like kind of like neglecting? Is there and not being responsible?
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. We obviously have to use common sense. We can't just go, what's your problem? And there has to be common sense. You have to use your own judgment. So we're constantly being asked to make judgment calls. So if somebody comes to me, like I said, somebody sent me a message last night, I just didn't ignore it. Oh, that's your problem. It's your monkey. Leave me alone. I had to consider their message, and I gave it some thought. But then after thought and evaluation, through my perception, I made a judgment call as to what I think is the right thing to do for this person. But it'd be very easy to get caught up, your ego to hijack you, and just blame everybody else, slough off their problems, and not even listen to people. Your ego can really be dangerous, and just think you got it all together, and you're always right, and you're never wrong. So I think what you got to do is you have to blend humility with this. You have to blend awareness with it. You have to be open to at least listening to what the person has to say without judgment, just taking the information, think, evaluate, trust your gut, your own intuition, and then make a move based on what you really feel in your heart is the right thing to do. If you follow your heart, I don't think you can go wrong. And if you're wrong, then you should say that you're wrong also, and take on the monkey. And so it's a balancing act.
To add on to that, is there actually a benefit to taking on a monkey?
Well, sure, you learn. Definitely.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, if I think about the times I've taken a monkey on, even when it wasn't mine, I did learn. Sometimes when you take on a problem and you're holding it and you're responsible and you're evaluating it, you learn from that, because you go, I shouldn't have taken this on. But I did. And so then what you try to do, it's in your hands. So solve the problem if you can, or hand the monkey over to somebody else that can, or give it back to the person that did. But either way you learn. Every day we learn from these experiences. The key is not be giving ourselves a hard time and judging ourselves while we're learning, because your day is just filled with lessons. That's life. Life is every day is filled with lessons, and you keep getting the lessons over and over and over in different forms until you learn it. And then you get another lesson. So sometimes, if you're getting the monkey put on your back a lot, maybe this is a lesson for you. Maybe it's something for you to learn, for you to do different. And so we have to be open to that. I think we have to be open-minded. We have to be coachable. We have to be resourceful. We have to be able to take feedback without taking it personally, to try to be a better version of ourselves so we can do better. But not in a victim mode, not in a poor me mode, not in, the helper mode that takes on everybody else's problems. We have to be objective. We have to be emotionally neutral. We have to be confident, and we have to do what we feel is the right thing to do. And through practice, you just get better and better at it. All right, everybody. Perfect. Thanks for coming on.